Hello everyone, it's Rachel at From Moments to Milestones, and I'm back today with a new card class. This is the Bundle of Joy card class featuring Spellbinders dies and better press. And I think it's really sweet, these little babies. So we have Congrats, Hello Baby, delivering tiny fingers, tiny toes, and a bundle of joy. And your little miracle is here. Congratulations. We're going to make these 3 cards. Should you purchase a kit, you do get written instructions. And in the back, I have listed all the dies and whatnot that I've used to create the kits. So let's see. We're going to start with this one here, the Congrats Hello Baby. You're also in your kit going to get this little envelope, and I have better pressed the sentiments from I think it's called Little Smile Sentiments. And so there's some baby sentiments, some birthday, and everything that we used, aside from that congrats that I die cut, came from here. So when the time comes, you'll want to get that out, and you can choose whatever sentiment you want if you don't want to use what I used. You're also going to need some sort of coloring medium for your babies. I cut them out of white so that you can choose your skin tone. Today I'm going to use Tattered Rose. I'm going to get this sweet little peachy colored baby there, but certainly you could use whatever you want, markers, colored pencils, whatever you want to color the baby. So let's jump in. I have somewhere little craft stacks so that I can dump everything out and I'm not going to lose it. Lots of little die cuts. Okay. So I think that we will start. Let's go ahead and get our baby colored. So I'm just using that sponge dauber and the oxide inks. And then this little piece here is his arm. All right, so we got our little baby colored, and then next he has holes for his eyes and cheeks. Now the die, I realized after I cut card class, there were some dies I could not figure out what they were for. They actually cut the little strips to go on the back for his eyes and cheeks, but I didn't know that. So what you have here you have pink, scrap, and black. And we're also going to use it for our stork. He has a little cheek too. So what we're going to do is flip them both over. I'm going to get some scissors, and we need some real tiny pieces to go behind. I'm going to start with the stork. It's a little easier because it's bigger. So on the back, I'm just going to go around that circle with some glue. And I'm just going to cut a little square off. I'm going to put that right over the top. And now he's got a sweet pink cheek. And we are going to do that as well with the baby. So I think I'm going to do the eyes first. I'm going to get a bigger pair of scissors here. And I really just want a nice thin strip. I think that is going to do the job. So let's see. I'm going to pick it up with my tweezers. And yes, that looks thick enough. Trim some of it off. And we're good. It's probably still a little too long. Perfect. So I'm just going to put some glue right between the eyes. And I'm on the back. I'm going to press that down. And now when you flip the baby over, he's got black eyes. You could certainly make them blue, whatever you want to do. I don't need this scrap. I'm going to toss it. And then we're going to do the same for the cheeks. So I think I'm going to try that again with a nice thin strip. And I'm going to put some glue in between the cheeks. Maybe not that much. And then I'm just going to go in and trim that away. And now he's got sweet little pink cheeks. All right. Also for the stork, there's little embossed lines right there where his beak goes. Like a little embossed half circle. It shows you right where that should line up. So there's the beak. I don't need that pink anymore. I'm going to get rid of that. And then you have, this is for the blanket that holds the baby. You can do a couple things. You can take this blanket, tuck your baby in. I'm going to use this as a guide to get placement, and then I can glue the baby down. I'm actually going to just put glue right at the bottom and nowhere else. And there are also lines on this die cut to help you line it up, but it really just matches up at the bottom. And now when I'm ready to put that piece on, I can just tuck my baby in there, and then I can glue that when I'm done. Okay, so those are all ready. So let's grab, what we're going to need is the stork, the vellum cloud, and the white cloud. So I'm going to start with my vellum cloud, and I want it about halfway up, and I'm just going to place it down. So I'm just going to put a little glue right here. The white's going to cover it. There's really no right or wrong. As high as you want it to go. I have mine probably a little bit lower, but I think I'm going to go that high. And I can go in and add some more glue after I know where my white hits, because I don't want that glue to show. And I'm just going to trim those off. Okay. And then my stork is going to go over that. And I have him almost all the way up. He's glued flat down. So I'm just going to put some glue on him. And about right there, right with the edge. So there's my stork. And then my white clouds are going to go on top. So it's up to you. I don't want it. Now, I could certainly put it there. It's with the edge, but I think I want it that high. I'm going to play around. I don't want them. These are the exact same die cut. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm going to slide it over a little. And I want it right there. I'm just going to go in and put glue. Let it hold. Do that over here. And then you can take your straight edge scissors, or, oh, I got glue everywhere, didn't I? You can take your straight edge scissors, or you can put it in a trimmer and trim that excess off, however you're comfortable. One. Okay, get that vellum all the way. There we go. All right, so there is that. And now that that part's done, I can go ahead and I put foam on this. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up the back. Some foam strips. All right, so I have the foam on the back of that, and I've removed the backing. And now it's going to go on the center of that panel, which really, you could put that panel on my card base. I haven't done that yet, but I'm just going to center that onto that panel, and then this panel is going to go on my white card base. All right, so there's that. And now I'm going to bring over my baby. So I don't have him quite tucked in there yet. I'm going to go ahead and hang the little blanket off the stork. And I just have it go on the edge, whatever. Go right there. I kind of want it swinging out a little. Put some glue inside on my baby and then tuck that in. And now I can glue down the rest of the blanket. Just put a little block on that to hold it. And then you have the little baby's arm. And I waited to put that on so it can look like he's kind of holding on to the blanket. I'm just going to put a little glue up here by his shoulder. Like that. And I think I'll put a little right there too. Okay. And now I'm going to get into my sentiments. I used the Hello Baby. So let's see if I can find that. And we also had the congrats. So you could certainly get away with just congrats if you want to conserve some of your sentiments, but I kind of like the way it tucks right in with the congrats. So I'm going to go ahead, and I didn't pop anything up. I'm just going to glue it straight down. And we'll put the congrats down. I'm just going to get some of the glue off so there's not so much oozing. There's my congrats. And then we're going to finish. We have some stars here on some Post-it tape. I'm going to put these back in their envelope. All right, so go ahead. They're probably upside down on that paper. I pick them up off the cutting plate, so make sure they're right side up. And they are. And I just have them scattered kind of from here to there. You could scatter them around the clouds and the baby, however you want to do it. I have one here. There and there. I've got one there, there, there. You know what? That one is upside down, I think. Yep. All right. All right, that finishes that card. Okay, for our next card, the sweet little baby in an umbrella. So I think we'll start again putting together our die cuts. So I'm going to pull out some of these bigger pieces and we'll work on. So first we'll go ahead and color in that baby. Oh, and we need his little arm. It's sticking to me. Okay. That looks good. And then he's going to need his cheeks again. So we'll do the cheeks and the eyes. All right, so let's flip them over, get some glue down. Start with the eyes and then the cheeks. Flip that over and cut off the excess. Perfect. All right, this one we can go ahead and glue his little arm on, but first I'm going to glue his diaper on. I remember why I didn't do that yet. Okay, so you should have a little white diaper, and on the baby, if you can see, that there are embossed lines to help you get that lined up. So I'm going to put glue in those areas, and then I'm going to stick that diaper on. And it fits on there just like so. And now I'm going to put his little arm on. There he is. And he has a hat and booties. So I'm going to put some glue on his little feet and on the top of his head. There's his hat. And if you're unsure of placement on those booties, I like to turn it over and center it over the foot like so. And then it looks perfect. So there's that. So our little baby is ready. And now we're going to put together our umbrella. Now, if you've never used this umbrella before, you have the pole, top, the inside and the outside, and the handle. Now, I'm not sure if the light's going to catch it or not, but there are embossed lines on this piece. So you want to look at it like this, where it kind of looks like a bat wing on the bottom. And there are lines just like so. What I'm going to do is put some foam squares. I like to use 4. I'm going to use one there. One there. I'm going to leave the center open for that pole. Okay. And then this piece sits right on top. So it's going to look like that. But first, I want to go in and I'm going to just put a little dots, like a line of glue. And this is where I want it. It's not attached. I'm just eyeballing it right now. And I'm going to press that down. So now that is exactly where I want it. The other option would be to glue this pole. Just glue it to the back of this piece in the center. And then you can, the only reason why I don't like to do that is then my handle is popped up when I go to put this handle on, and it kind of, it's not a real big deal, but that's why I do it that way. So now I can go, just to ensure that does not come off, I'm going to put one right over it. I'm going to remove the backing. And then I'm going to place this umbrella right over the top, right where those lines are. Perfect. And now you have your sweet little umbrella. And then down here on the bottom, I'm going to add that waterfall cardstock. Right on top. Perfect. All right, we're going to set those aside for now. And let's put together, we can go ahead and put this, I'm calling it blue. It's kind of green or a mint color. It's actually called Seaside, I believe. Spellbinders cardstock. And I'm going to glue that down. And then for these pieces, this is going to line up perfectly with the bottom. Okay. So what you want to do here is figure out where you want your other layer to go. And I'm going to come about right there. I'm going to hold it down. And I'm just going to put a line of glue right there. And this is a bumpy surface, so it's kind of hard. I'm going to let that hold there for a second. All right. And then I'm just going to flip it over. And honestly, you know, most of it's going to get covered up, so if it's not perfect, it's fine. All right, so there's that. And now this piece that fits right over, I'm just going to glue that right down. All right, I think I'm going to put something on that. And let's see, did I pop that up? I did not. So that panel is going to go straight down on the center of this seaside panel. All right, so that looks good. I can still see some vellum here, so I'm going to go in and trim that off. Perfect. All right, so that is going to go right there. Let me glue that down. All right. And then our umbrella is going to sit however you want. I kind of want it in the clouds a little bit. Maybe like so. And then the little baby. I'm going to actually go ahead and glue that baby in there. And he's just down in there flat. Now what you're probably going to need to do is, because that's popped up, I'm going to put one foam square on his head. Then I also like to tuck them here so that everything is even when it sits. And then everywhere else is going to get regular glue. Okay. So down goes the baby, like so. There's our little baby floating on the cloud. And you're going to need a sentiment. I use the Delivering Tiny Fingers, Tiny Toes, and a Bundle of Joy. I did pop mine up. Use some foam on that. So that is going to go right across the bottom. So sweet. And then we're going to finish it off by adding in those stars. So I'm going to flip those over. Okay. And I have them scattered in this direction, but you can certainly put them wherever you want. On here. Oh, it does not want to go down. Whoops. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and place those down. I think I did a little different than I did last time, but Alrighty. That card is finished. Okay, we've got one final card here. We've got a sweet little baby girl this time. Dump all my goodies out here. You'll also have flower centers and the centers to your bows in there on some Post-it tape. This time I'm going to start and get some of this stuff out of the way. So you can put down your raindrop paper onto your white card base. All right, and then this piece is going to go right in the center. So probably I'm going to pick up where the raindrops are, and then this piece is going to go on the center of that. All right, so I'm going to set that off to the side and let that adhere, and we'll move on. So we've got a baby again that we need to color and put his cheeks on, as well as the stork. So start by coloring up the baby. Oops, I forgot about his little arm. And let's do the eyes and the cheeks. So first I'm going to do the stork because that little piece is perfect. There's the stork. I'll go ahead and glue his beak on as well. Okay. He's good. And then we need the cheeks. And the eyes. Put some glue in there. Eyes. Cheeks. If I slide them over, I only have to cut on one side. Oh, come on. Perfect. You trim off the excess. A little bit over here. Okay. There's the little baby. I don't want to lose his arm or her arm. This is a girl this time. Okay, so let's go ahead and decorate her up. So she has a bow. So you've got light purple band. You've got the bow. And then on this piece, you have the bow center. I'm going to put all those down, and we're going to go ahead and put the band on first. Maybe easier to pick it up. I'm not quite remember where the placement is. So I'm going to put some glue on there, and it should just fit on her little head. So sweet. And then the bow is going to go right there on top. And then we're going to put the center. So there's that. She also has a sweet little matching purple diaper. So put that piece on. And booties. I'm going to flip her around, make sure those are centered on there. Perfect. There she is. She's so cute. And she just needs her arm. So we're going to hang on to her arm because she's also going to wrap around the jacket. You could also just adhere it at the shoulder, and then it's not going to cause you any issues. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Let's put this together. So let's put the blanket. This time you have all one color blanket, and we also, this little piece is included. I didn't cut it the first time we used the blanket because we used two different colors, and you really can do without it, but it all cuts at once. I'm gonna, I didn't want to do that yet. Hold on a second. I'm talking and getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna rub that off. I just want glue at the bottom so I can tuck my baby in. So I'm just gonna put a little glue there. Add the top, just like so. I'm going to hang on to this. All right. Let's see. Got the clouds. We need the store cat. So this is sweet. We have the black. You have a white piece. And then you have the purple that goes on top. So we're going to layer them up just like that. White right on top. And this piece is so tiny. I'm going to pick it up and put the glue on the back. And that gets lined up right there. This hat is going to go on our stork's head. So I'm going to put that on there because that will all help with the placement. So it just sits right on top. All right. Let's put the rest of our card together. So we have this portion here. And these are going to go on, but not just yet. Okay, these are going to go on the bottom. But you can kind of lay them there and have an idea of how you want them. And we can always trim off the bottom. My stork, I want him inside. See, his hat is even slightly off the top there. So I'm just going to go in and glue him right down. All right. Just like so. The edge goes to the edge of the coral, the light coral piece. So there's our stork. And then for this, I am going to pop up the blanket. Let me cut one of those. There. Right. Take the backing off. And I'm going to have that baby hang just like so. I'm going to go ahead and tuck her in. Now, I kind of want to see some of her diaper. We went to the trouble of die cutting it, right? So I'm going to just put some, and then I'm probably going to have to tuck a foam square behind her head for sure. So I'm going to do that. Take the top off, pick it up with my tweezers, and just slide it in there. There we go. You probably do the same on her little feet too. But I'm going to go ahead and glue that up and then put that center on. There's the center. Hold that down for a minute. And then I'm going to grab her little arm. We'll glue that on right there. This keeps wanting to come up. Okay. And there went her arm. I think we need to use a little more glue. All right. And now for this. So I have it just under. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this white piece to the vellum. I'm going to get an eyeball of where I want it. Okay. And then I'm going to put foam on it. Let's see where I want it here. It's going to line up on this side. It's going to come to about right there. I'm just going to put a couple strips like so. You don't have to pop it up, but there's a lot of dimension going on with the paper, so you're going to have to probably do something. I'm going to get it right where I want it. I want to make sure it's lined up with this edge over here, so I don't have so many cuts to make. Okay. And then we're going to go in and cut off the excess. All right, so there is that. Now you need to find sentiments you want to put on. There's a congratulations. Your little miracle is here. And there's also welcome to a world of moonlit dreams and starry skies. I mean, there's lots of possibilities, but I did your little miracle is here. Congratulations. You can put the congratulations on top. My congratulations is not great, so I'm just going to use your little miracle is here. Then we're going to put our flowers. So you should have 3 purple flowers. However you want those to look. This is how I have mine. All right, so let's put those down. And then on the Post-it paper, you have the flower centers. There it goes. Put the flower centers in. 1, 2, 3. So the largest one's going to go on the largest flower. Use my pickup tool for this one because I got a little too much glue. All right. And that finishes that card. All right, guys, that does it for this card class. I hope you enjoyed these sweet little baby cards. I sure had fun playing with this die set. If you're interested in a kit, you can find us on the web from momentstomilstones.com, and you can search for our card kits there. This is the Bundle of Joy card kit. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.